Hello everybody, it's the Geo Doctor coming to you today from the Geo Doctor's office. Um, Coming to you today in response to little Joe Thompson's fantastic video, which he entitled A Tribute to Dave Parker. Little Joe, if you don't mind, I'm going to borrow that title for the title of this video also. Dave, I know you're probably not going to be able to see this video for probably 30 to 90 days, depending on how your rehab center works out for you. But I have a few encouraging words I want to give you. And brother, they come from the heart, just like Joe's did. David is a guy who's been on this earth. It's been a little bit longer than you. And I've had a lot of experience in dealing personally with what you're going through right now. I want to offer you the following insights, and I hope the following encouragement to you, my brother. David, doctors prescribe medication nowadays because the system is very badly broken. People know this. Inherently, I think all people know this. And doctors are fallible. They are just imperfect human beings. And sometimes they're forced to work in an impossible environment. And oftentimes, like in the United States especially, here in Canada, our doctors are not paid to write prescriptions. They get no commissions for the prescriptions they write. However, in the United States, they do get a percentage for every prescription they do write in many states. And this has led to widespread doctor abuse of prescribing medication. Medications like Percocet and Percogesic, which are highly overused pain medications in the United States, lead to rampant drug addiction. I know I was reading in the latest journal of the AMA, they were talking about, the important outrage that's going on in the state of Florida right now. The state of Florida right now is just flooding the East Coast right now with Percocet and Percogesics. And what they do is they have clinics set up throughout the entire state, and people simply go from one pain clinic to the other. And many of them are Canadian people. They're out-of-towners. And, they'll buy 200 here, 200 there, and then they go shopping. They call it shopping. They go to various drugstores, and each drugstore fills up that prescription, and they collect them. And after they've been down there for 6 months, they mule these things back up across the eastern seaboard, heading back up, to Canada through either Detroit or Buffalo or whatever. And now these people are getting busted, and unfortunately, yeah, the money's really good, to mule this stuff. But once you are caught, it carries the same penalties as if you were caught with any other Class A narcotic. Dave, I'm very proud of you today. I have been a long-time subscriber of you. In fact, ever since I came on YouTube, I've been a subscriber to your channel. I love your channel. I love your personality, Dave. I love what you bring to the channel. Whether you know it or not, when you spend 10 or 15 minutes a day watching somebody, there's a symbiotic relationship between you and that person, and you actually get forward to your 10 or 15 minute Dave Parker dose. And if you really think about it, Dave, us in the modeling community, we are very close. We're a very close community. We're all artists, and I think that makes us sensitive. I think artists are intrinsically sensitive people. We're sensitive to our art, and we're sensitive to other people. And at the end of your video, Dave, you just, hope that none of us, will forget you. Dave, my God, that's the last thing in the world you should be worried about at this point in time. You are such an integral part of this community. Dave, you will never be forgotten. I want to give you a little bit of hindsight into my own journey and what's been going on. I am known as a Geo Doctor. I got that name because back when I was a Marine, I was heavily involved in the medical field through the United States Marine Corps. In fact, they were putting me through medical school. I did 2 tours in Southeast Asia, 1 year in Vietnam and the other one in Cambodia, trying to pull people out of the way of the Khmer Rouge and treating those pitiful people, treating their wounds, delivering their babies, uh, doing sometimes simple, sometimes complicated surgery to keep them alive after they were mistreated. When my 2-year term was up, I was faced with the crossroad decision of my life. If I wanted to continue on and do my final 2 years and graduate as a fully licensed trauma surgeon, I had to first go through officers candidate school. And the second thing, of course, I had to do was go back to school for 2 more years. At the end of that 2 years, Dave, I had to sign a 15-year agreement promising the Marine Corps that I would stay with them and work for them as a trauma surgeon. Now, knowing that, and after just living through 2 years of phenomenal trauma, more in Cambodia than ever in Vietnam, I'm going to be very honest with you, I just couldn't do it. What I'd been through was so intense. No man is ever right after that. You are never a whole person after seeing that kind of human devastation. I was so sick and bloody tired of looking at young men, children, women. The horrors of war are not to be held by anybody. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, Dave. And when the Marine Corps asked for that 15-year commitment, they had every right to do so. They had a big investment in me, and they had every right to ask of it back. But I did not have it within me to give. So I made that decision, and I was discharged honorably because during my 2 years, I had served with honor and distinction. But I came back to the world and hooked up with another medic friend of mine who got me a job at the Detroit Fire Department, where I stayed for many years, answered over 11,000 trauma runs during that career until finally I had a house explode underneath me. It broke my back and it's left me permanently in this wheelchair for the rest of my life. During that time, Dave, I've been heavily medicated to the point where I too have had to detox and go through the trauma that you're going through right now. Now, here's the point. Dave, listen, I want you to get this, okay? The video that you just posted, and you posted it for the world to see, I applaud you, my man. You don't realize it right now, David, because you're in the throes of everything going on. But when you see this video someday when you're home, it's going to come back to you, and you will realize that I am right in saying that was the turning point in your life. That was the day Dave Parker started to get well. Because until you come to terms with your addiction, and until you can look at the world square in the eye, no matter how much it hurts, and say, listen, I got a problem, I got to fix it. I'm Dave Parker. This is wrecking my life. But you've got to do it for you, David. You can't do it for your employer. You cannot do it for your family. You got to do it for Dave. And I think that's where you're at. And I applaud you. From the bottom of my heart, I applaud you, Dave, for the strength, the conviction, the wherewithal, anything that any of us would expect of Dave Parker. And once again, you've come to the top of the mountain, my friend. And now it's going to be downhill for you. I'm not saying that the journey is going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination. You're going to have ups and downs like every one of us had. But just remember, Dave, life is like a pendulum. There's 2 ups for every down. And your first few weeks of detoxing are going to be hell on wheels. And there's going to be many nights where you're just cold and shivering and you want to throw the towel in. But you got to remember that by facing the world and telling them what you were going to do, basically what you did to yourself without knowing it, is you backed yourself into a corner where now you got to come out fighting. Now you've got to prove to the world exactly what you know you are made of. Because you would have never done that publicly, Dave, if you were not sure that you could lick this. I applaud you, my friend. From the bottom of my heart, I applaud you. And you will not walk this journey alone. There are a lot of Kenny Bairds out there. There are a lot of Joey Thompsons out there who don't talk about the problems until it's really necessary. But when I see a brother like you, and I see you going into a struggle that I've been there, done that, survived to tell about it, and I bear no shame whatsoever. This stuff just slips up behind you. It knocks you up before you even have a chance. Before you even have a chance to know you're in trouble, you're in trouble. So Dave, today, I salute you, sir. I really do. I salute you. Go for it. But do it for you, David. And we'll all be there. We'll all be there at the end of this road, applauding you, embracing you, and just saying, go, Dave. And you've got a whole modeling community out here that does love you and does respect you. And if anybody out here, Dave, does walk away from your channel and say, I'm not going to follow this guy anymore, guess what, Dave? They're not true friends. They weren't worth having in the first place. You can do without people like that in your life. You don't need those kind of friends. We're solid behind you, my brother. You carry on. You do your thing, David. Very proud of you. I look so forward to seeing you back. I'm really going to miss my dose of Dave Parker every day. I can tell you that. I'm addicted to it, brother. There you go. I'm cross-addicted. You've got me cross-addicted already, but that's what happens. When you've got an addictive personality, you get cross-addicted very, very, very soon, and I'm addicted to Dave Parker. I love you, man. You take care of yourself. And you know that you're going to have friends out here that are going to support you come hell or high water. And you'll make it. You will make it. I know you will, because you're Dave Parker, man. You're strong and you've got everything you need to get by. You got a loving family. They're counting on you. And someday when you're my age, Dave, I can predict fairly accurately you'll be a grandpa just like I will. But as you know, if you don't get off that shit, you won't be a grandpa. You just won't make it at all. And your life will just continue to crumble away. But the day you said to the world, I have a problem, you just made the biggest step you could ever make in getting recovered. Because the first step in anybody's recovery, Dave, is admitting that they have a problem. So, hats off to you, my brother. Was that a squirrel? Oh, sorry. Little Joey Thompson joke there for you. No, you keep well, David. We're all here. We're all rooting for you. And to all my fellow brothers in the community, if you have ever gotten anything from Dave Parker, now's the time to give it back. In spades. You owe this brother your support. You owe this brother your respect. Believe me, it can happen to the best of us. It does, it has, and it will. God bless you, Dave. God bless you too, Joey. And God bless everybody in the YouTube community. Fantastic friends, couldn't ask for better. This is the GeoDoctor signing off from the GeoDoctor's office, saying thank you for your time. And I know I haven't posted up a video lately. I've been busier than a one-legged man in a butt-kicking contest. I don't know if you probably can't see over my shoulder. Oops, I never get used to this GD camera. Right up there, you'll see a little diorama part of it. That's what I'm going to give you a peek at later. I'm working on my Chevy 3100, my shop truck for my Texaco station. I hope to have some pictures up soon. I am dearly indebted to all of you. Okay, that's it. I've taken up enough of your time for the day. Have a good day. God bless. This is the Geo Doctor again, signing off. Bye, y'all.